Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever Uma Musume video. This is gonna be a team overview, the team I'm gonna be using for CM11 or Pisces Cup, which is the Spring Tunnel Show on Hanshin Race Course. So it's 3,200 meters, very stamina demanding, and this is a solo ace team with an end closer, uh, being Summer Special Week. Um, It's actually very hard to build because you have to get mile to A from C and end closer to A from C as well. Um, I know a lot of people say you can skip um, end closer sparks, but genuinely you can't, especially on this Uma because she needs to push forward, and the this is gonna scale down the width if it's not at A aptitude. um, it's not gonna affect the skill procs, but it's gonna affect um, the wit checks when it comes to pace up mode and downhills, um, which also like the wit check on downhills helps you run faster and also conserve stamina. So even if she doesn't have as high stamina as I wanted, um, I do have standard distance, and her guts is like higher than average, and her wit is also higher than most end closers, um, and also max power. So she's able to clear the uphills a lot easier. She's actually able to live with Diver, Swinging Maestro, and even tank like 2 stamina siphons and a couple white debuffs. Although I did find that she is quite vulnerable to like nice nature if she does get hit by all seeing eyes, which shouldn't happen most of the time, but it's a random timing and sometimes it does happen. So it's kind of out of my control. Um, so I do wish I had a bit more stamina. Um, and you can see Daring Strike, Kuma Stance, Heroic Spurt, Naval Navigator. Um, she got pretty much everything. And what is particular about this Uma is she needs to push to 6th position with Dazzling Diver and also proc 2 skills in the mid race to proc Dazzling Diver, which is her recovery. Um, it doesn't give any velocity. That's a buff that's coming in the 3rd anniversary, I think. I really wish it did because this is a pain. This is a pain to play around and try to build for, but I still try to do it. And I've gotten it to proc like very consistently on this track. So for me, like it. I feel like I'm putting in a lot of effort for only a gold recovery, but I really wish it had some target speed in it as well. Um, but that's a complaint for another time, I guess. Um, but there's this synergy here with you proc 2 skills, you proc Dazzling Diver, which is your 3rd skill, which procs Tell Held High in the mid race. Um, and what's also nice is you have It's On, um, which is a gold velocity skill. Um, the duration is pretty short. It's only 1.8 seconds, which is the same as Speed Star. Like curvature is 2.4 seconds, and this is 4 seconds, um, but a bit weaker in terms of how much target speed you get. Uh, but usually when you proc It's On after overtaking someone, it's because you also procced another velocity skill just prior. So let's say you proc curvature, you overtake someone, you proc It's On, you proc which procs Dazzling Diver, and then that procs Tail Held High. So now you have like 3 velocity skills that just procced at relatively in a relatively short time frame. And if this was 3rd anniversary, this would be 4 velocity skills, which is a fucking lot of speed. You're just gonna run really fast in the mid race and kind of just pull away from the backline pack and catch up with the front a lot easier. Also in 2nd anniversary, her um, gold skills like It's On and Fast and Furious, which is a later skill, both get buffed duration to 4 seconds, which is pretty massive. She is one of the most buffed Umas later in the game. But I'm trying to make her work pre-buff, and this is the comp that I've found that works the best. I thought this up a month ago. I knew I wanted to use like Halloween Rice Shower as a front runner, and also Haru Urara because I thought it would be funny. Uh, Basically, she just hangs back very far and stretches the lobby a lot and uh, kills Sleeping Lion on Narita Taishin, which is really funny when it happens. But most Narita Taishins, if they're smart, will be buying Maestro instead of Sleeping Lion. Um, and they should. It's definitely the way you should build her. Uh, Please, if you can avoid it, don't buy Sleeping Lion because I will kill you uh, with this Haru Urara. Um, so let's get into some races. And basically, I I want my debuffers to um, do something useful with the position they're in, right? There, you can always lazily slap a nice nature onto any team and try to make that work. Um, but I think it's generally more useful to have your debuffers in positions that favor your team or your ace and just look for like synergy there because the this Halloween Rush Shower, for example, I set her as a front runner. And initially it was because I didn't want Christmas Ogre to get lucky pace. Although I haven't really seen any lobbies that didn't have any front runners, so it's not really a problem that is that I'm really like. This is not actually her role here. Um, Her actual role is to pace up the lobby when there's other front runners. Um, Sometimes there's lobbies with only one front runner, um, apart from Rice Shower. And if there's only one front runner, generally the pace of the lobby will be very low. And if there's no front runners at all, it'll be even lower. Uh, but lucky pace is such a frustrating like mechanic to try and play around that I kind of just prefer to always have a front runner on my team if possible, just to be able to deny it. Um, and this is not actually the the special week in my build that I showed you. This is a different one that I used. She had less speed, um, more mid race, more wit, more stamina, and less power. Um, but the speed disadvantage was pretty big. So the new one I have is generally a lot stronger, even with the lower wit and the lower stamina. Um, and the cool thing about Haru Urara is she will always start in ninth place and she will always be in ninth place. So if I'm starting in eighth, I only need to overtake two Umas to get to sixth to proc Desert Diver. Right? If I were to start in ninth, I would have to overtake three, and that's like ex- I would say it kind of scales exponentially just how difficult it is to pass each uh, Uma that you need to pass. Um, but I've when I did my tests with other debuffers, like I tried Nice Nature, I tried Air Groove, um, and it didn't really work very well. Because I would often start in ninth. Special Week would start in ninth and then just trail behind. And I found that the end closers basically kind of form a line, like a straight line at the start, where they settle into their positions. And sometimes, like 8th place, 7th place, will be able to like try to overtake and push up a little bit in the early mid race or even early race. But the encloser in ninth will kind of just like stay ninth for a very long time and not really try to overtake anyone, even if they have higher weight, even if they have better mid race. Um, it's kind of just a pretty big hurdle to clear, and so I was kind of losing from for reasons that I couldn't really explain. Um, it's not. I don't think it's related to wit. I think it might have to do with like the starting gate. But what I found is that if I have Haruidara steal the ninth position, basically like force herself at ninth, even if I start last of the like actual real end closers, I'm still able to fight for position. I'm still able to um, try and overtake in the early race and early mid race to try and get seventh or sixth and um, basically survive. Actually, here you can see this is a lobby with only two end closers, so I would start in seventh at best. And there's a very good reason I have White Lightning here, because if I'm right behind a pace chaser who's in sixth, and I need to get sixth, uh, I can use White Lightning to help me get that boost, um, which helped me survive here. I think without it, I would have probably lost this race. Um, I do think it's like the best inherit for end closers here on this track. It's very very powerful. There's a lot of potential for uh, speed carryover because it procs so late, and as long as you delay it just a little bit, uh, which happens pretty often, you will get speed carryover and you will get like a little bit of excel in the late race. Um, Now the last one, this is an all front lobby, and here I'm thinking, well, shit, I cannot get sixth place, um, no matter what I do. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to prog Dazzling Diver, and I'm gonna die because the lobby is all only front runners, and this is what I was worried about. I thought this would be the comp or the lobby composition to kill me, but as you can guess, there's a reason I'm showing you this, and I probably wouldn't show you this if I lost. Uh, but basically, there's an advantage to being the only end closer or late surger, like the only backliner, uh, where I'm not competing for position with anyone, and I'm sticking to the inner rail the entire race, um, which saves a lot of distance and makes it easier to to catch up to the front at least. But it also means I'm saving stamina or HP from not trying to overtake anyone. So even without Dazzling Diver, as long as I proc Swinging Metro, as long as I don't rush, um, I'm actually able to live. And now I can actually try to overtake the front runner in seventh. This is actually my own um, rice shower, and I've just procced 4 skills at the same time. So pretty likely I can get this overtake, and then proc its on um, into White Lightning very late into the mid race, which gets me some speed carryover here into straightaway spurt, and now I'm actually able to win. Um, so really, what I'm getting at is this team actually works in any lobby. Uh, it doesn't really matter which lobby in. Though I am vulnerable to like all seeing eyes, right? So I could lose to other solo ace players if I'm running into like 4 debuffers and I'm tanking 4 stamina siphons. That could be really bad. Uh, but it's not very likely that that will happen, and so I'm okay with gambling with this low stamina because her power is so high, her speed is so high, um, that she can push really far. And I would say if you're trying to build something like this, the width is like You need a lot of wit. Please, this is not negotiable. Please do not try and like go for no stopping me or like uh, you know, slot in Yuki no Bijin wit. Because you're gonna lose like 300, 400 wit. It's gonna be so much harder to get a high wit stat with her. Um, I do think it'll be possible for the mediums because you can run 3 wit cards instead. Um, if the stamina requirement is not as high. But here, like you need the stamina, you need the power, you need the speed. You also need a lot of wit. This is not negotiable. And if you are able to build, to use a deck that can build this, if you have like Ayabe power, if you have fine motion, like 2 good wit cards, 2 good speed cards, and Super Creek, uh, please do go for it. I think this team is really fun and also very consistent. And I honestly do believe it might possibly be like the strongest team if you just like look at Carrot Clash. I also entered this. This is the same race course, the same conditions, um, as the Champions Meet. 97 entrants. I got like top 27 with this exact team, and if you look at the winner, this is a solo ace end closer. Tamamo Cross, who, as I said before, like plays very similarly um, to Summer Special Week, where you try to have a lot of like really strong mid race skills and just push really far ahead in the mid race, and then just proc straight away spurt um, from not far in, like not very far from the front basically, and far away from the other end closers. Um, and this rice Halloween Rice Shower, this one was set as a pace chaser, and this air groove who actually with her low aptitudes can do the same thing as Haru Urara, um, except like might not be as efficient at killing um, or denying Sleeping Lion on Naruto Taishin. And you can see here this other player in 4th place. This is an end closer ace, a front runner ace, and also Haru Urara. Um, and like these two comps are functionally like very similar to mine. Um, and they both performed really well. And honestly, like this Tamamo Cross was actually like not that powerful, especially compared to these players who had like UG ranks. Um, actually lost to this player by a neck to the Oguri cap. Uh, and this was UG. I think these are UG. This is UG. But this was only SS rank. And I'm SS plus. And this one, like, this is like 2 rank grades below. And he still won. And if you look at this website, right, this is a website that tracks a lot of room matches from, it says like 30,000, 61,000 Unikumas. It tracked room matches for this upcoming CM and looked at like all the strategies. You can see front is very popular and generally a very consistent comp, right? This is why front is so popular. People play front because it's consistent. You just have to um, be in 1st or 2nd place and you can probably win. It doesn't really matter which lobby you're in. You're always gonna have the same win condition. So it never changes based on your lobby. But if you look at here, the top teams, number 1, it doesn't have like the highest, the absolute highest win rate, but they did play more matches, so it considers this team higher just because of the variance basically. And if you look at it, you see Haru Urara as a debuffer, Kira-san Black as a frontrunner, also a debuffer. All the hesitant skills, a bit of subdued, a lot of like mid race, so she can pace up the lobby. And this is an end closer solo ace. There is evidence that this is functionally the exact same team comp as mine, and there is evidence that this works very well. Uh, when I think a lot of people think that in long CMs, like you're gambling for no stopping me or nimble, and it's just very random, very gambly. You can make end closers win consistently, um, as you can see here with like these four teams. Um, I think my win rate in rooms is about 65 to 70%, and I've done like over 100 room matches. Though it was after this website stopped tracking, but uh, yeah, this honestly works really well. And you don't necessarily need to play frontrunners if you want to win consistently. If you have an Uma who you can build as a late cert or as an end closer that you really like, that you want to win, and you want to win consistently, um, this is one way to do it, and it works really, really well. And I hope if you are able to build it, that you give it a try. I know it's very late, but like CM starts tomorrow, and I'm sorry for that. But if you're still missing like three aces, um, maybe if you only have one ace, um, who's strong enough, you can build these two debuffers in like less than an hour. I did these both in URA finale. Just clicked a lot of wit. The speed doesn't matter. The stamina doesn't matter. Anyway, that's gonna be about it. Um, I hope you learned from this video, and primarily how to put debuffers in spots that are advantageous to you, um, rather than just recycling an old like nice nature that you built almost a year ago. Um, this doesn't have to be for a solo ace team. You can go two aces, one debuffer, and um, make a very powerful team. Because personally, when I play triple ace, like I really don't like when one of my aces has a win rate of 5%. I'd much rather have that one um, slot be a debuffer who can actually support the other two aces who can win more often. Um, but for this CM specifically, I wanted Special Week to win, because she's my favorite, and so this is why I went solo ace, because I don't want someone else to steal her win if um, I do end up winning a finals. Hopefully I do. Uh, and good luck on your CM if you're still building. Good luck on your runs, and I hope you try out this team. Bye bye.